It is 2 o'clock in the morning. The world around you is completely silent. Your body lies motionless in bed, your face appearing entirely peaceful. But beneath that surface, a violent storm is raging. Your brain is wide awake. It replays a conversation that ended 3 years ago. It analyzes a fleeting glance from your boss this morning. It constructs catastrophic scenarios for a future that may never happen. Do you know this? That feeling that your own mind is holding you captive? It is the bitter irony of life. The most intelligent, empathetic, and reflective people are often also the most exhausted. Not because they do too much, but because they feel too much and think too much. Your gift of understanding subtle nuances and putting yourself in others' shoes is at the same time the engine that quietly burns you out. Why does deep empathy almost always lead to this total mental exhaustion? Why can't your brain simply find the off switch? Today, we stop overthinking and begin understanding. We take a deep look into the psychology of those who think too much. Because this storm in your head is not a flaw. It is a survival mechanism that has simply forgotten that you are already safe. To understand why your mind never stops, we need to look under the hood. Imagine your brain as a highly advanced vehicle. For most people, there is a clear balance between the gas pedal and the brake. But for you, the gas pedal seems stuck to the floor. At the center of this process is the prefrontal cortex. This is the command center located right behind your forehead. It is responsible for logic, planning, and complex analysis. Normally, this area shuts down once a task is completed. But in people who think too much, this center remains in overdrive. It continuously fires signals, scans the environment, and checks every piece of information for even the smallest errors. It is as if your inner CEO is working overtime long after the office has closed. But there is a second player in this neural drama, the so-called default mode network. This is your brain's background system. It activates whenever you are not actively doing anything, while showering, walking, or staring out the window. For most people, this network produces daydreams or creative breaks, but for you, it is where endless internal monologues are born. The problem lies in the communication between these two systems. Instead of taking turns, they work against you at the same time. Your prefrontal cortex tries to logically organize the chaos of the default mode network. The result? A brain that literally does not know how to stop. There is no end of the workday, no real break. You are not simply stressed. Your biological system has forgotten how to turn off the lights. But why has your brain forgotten how to turn off the lights? To understand that, we have to turn back time. We need to look at where it all began. Often, the origin of this non-stop thinking lies in your childhood. Perhaps your home was a place where the moods of adults were unpredictable. One wrong word, one wrong look, and the atmosphere could shift within seconds. In such a world, safety is not a gift, but a task you had to solve yourself. Your young nervous system developed a brilliant but exhausting strategy. Always stay one step ahead. If you run every scenario in your head, if you analyze every nuance in your parents' voices, then, so your brain believed, you can see danger coming. You learn to control the future by constantly simulating it in your mind. Overanalyzing was not a weakness back then. It was your shield. It was the way a very intelligent child tried to emotionally survive in an unsafe environment. Performance pressure can also create these roots. When love and recognition only came when you were perfect, your mind became a permanent auditor of yourself. Do you understand? Your overthinking is not a defect in your personality. It is not a flaw in your character. It is a highly intelligent adaptation of your nervous system. Your brain loves you so much that it is still trying to protect you from dangers that may no longer exist today. It is standing guard at a door that no enemy has walked through in a very long time. It is not failure. It is a survival mechanism that simply hasn't realized the war is over. But there is an even deeper, almost deceptive reason why we remain trapped in these cycles of thought. It is a chemical illusion in your mind. Every time you dwell on a problem, analyze every nuance of a conflict, or create a what-if scenario, your brain feels like it is working. It believes it is finding a solution. And this is exactly where the trap snaps shut. Your brain rewards this activity with small bursts of dopamine. This is the same dopamine we feel when solving a real puzzle. But in this case, it is a misdirection of the stress system. Your mind confuses mere thinking with actual action. You feel productive while you are actually standing still. Psychology calls this the illusion of mental progress. It is like running on a treadmill. You sweat, you are exhausted, your heart races. But when you look down after an hour, you are still exactly in the same place. You have not moved a single step forward, yet your brain whispers, "Just one more round, then we'll have the answer." This chemical reward turns overthinking into an addiction. We become hooked on analysis because the brain confuses the effort of thinking with the relief of solving. We do not torture ourselves because we want to, but because our biological reward system suggests that relief is only one more thought away. But the truth is, you cannot fill a hole by digging it deeper. After all the stress and sleepless nights, one crucial question arises. Is this constant thinking only a curse? Psychology's answer is a clear no. There is a hidden strength within you that many people will never reach. Scientists distinguish between two types of rumination. There is brooding rumination, a passive cycle of self-blame and dwelling on problems without solutions. This is the part that exhausts you. But then there is reflective rumination. This is the ability to look deeply within yourself, understand emotions, and grasp the world in all its complexity. People who think a lot often possess exceptionally high cognitive empathy. This is your superpower. You perceive vibrations in a room before a single word is spoken. You sense the invisible texture of conversations and understand others' needs, often before they do themselves. You are not a flaw in the system. You are a highly sensitive sensor for what it means to be human. But every superpower comes at a cost. Your problem is not your perception, but your mental bandwidth. You are trying to download the entire internet using an outdated connection. You take in everything, every detail, every emotion, every nuance. So it is not about suppressing this gift or becoming less intelligent. It is about learning how to set your filters. You must understand that while you can perceive everything, you do not have to analyze everything. Your empathy is a precious gift, but without boundaries, it becomes your prison. Learn to distinguish between understanding the world and drowning in it. We have understood the biology, the chemistry, and the scars of the past. But how do we now find the off switch? How do we finally allow the machine to rest? The first step is a radical reconciliation with yourself. Remember what we said about your childhood and your survival mechanism? Your overthinking is not an enemy you need to fight. The next time these storms of thought arise, do not try to stop them by force. Instead, say internally, "Thank you, dear brain. I know you are trying to protect me. I know you are searching for danger so that nothing happens to me." In psychology, we call this cognitive diffusion. It means observing your thoughts without merging with them. You are not your thought. You are the observer who sees a thought passing by. Imagine your worries as clouds in the sky or leaves on a river. You stand on the shore. You see them, but you do not have to jump in and drift away with them. It is a quiet but powerful shift in perspective. Instead of saying, "I am in danger, I need to solve this," you say, "I notice that my brain is producing a worried thought." This tiny distance gives you back your freedom. You do not have to save the world tonight. You do not have to solve every problem before you are allowed to sleep. Your mind can now leave its post. Recognize that you are an adult today, that you have resources you did not have as a child. You are safe now. Take a deep breath, tell your vigilant mind that it has done its job well. But now it is time to clock out. You are allowed to let go of control. You are allowed to set down the burden. It is finally safe enough to land.